So, all right. So for this full moon, this is for the collective, for the community. What messages are there for us this full moon? Thank you so much, Bats and Dewdrops, for cleansing the energy. Perfect timing. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we have, let me just kind of make sure they're spaced out. Where do we even start? So we've got one all the way up here. We've got the one for Earth, and it is connected to this card. So let's see what our Earth message is. We'll start with that. We've got the Emperor. I kind of want to start. I want to start with all of the elements. We've got the Emperor. You know, I feel like this is talking about the practical aspects of life being kind of harsh lately. Have you experienced that? It's like we're encountering boulders, not just like blocks or rocks or whatever, boulders. We've been encountering these like really tough structural type like challenges that are difficult to get over. They're difficult to overcome. Feels like something that might be like deeply rooted almost, that you have to like either uproot or find your way around or find your way over. I'm just like seeing this as being like boulders. We've been having to climb over boulders lately. Is that like resonating with you all? Ooh, found my art. Thank you so much. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm going to fill it with herbs and oils and all of that. You looked at Vedic. It's more accurate. The moon is more accurate versus the sun. Queen of Cups, I love Vedic astrology. And you know who's really good at it? Shraddha. I don't know if you've been to I'm Shraddha's stream, but Shraddha's like super into that. Full moon is in Pisces for Western and Aquarius in Vedic. Oh, my, thank you so much for clarifying. Like I said, I based this reading off of the, I'm not an astrologer, you know, I love it, but I'm like, my talents, at least right now, exist elsewhere. So I based this reading off of the harvest full moon, but often I do look at both of the signs and kind of do a combination of those elements. Okay, cool. So this feels to me like the challenges, the boulders, the things that are super stuck that we are encountering and finding a way to deal with, perhaps stand up to, or like I said, find our way around or find our way of climbing over, or even like fully uprooting them. But it's been tough. They've been big, big challenges. So I super relate to that. And this is very much in the practical sense. So we're in the earth element. So the things that you're literally encountering in your life. Like, for example, in our place that we're living in now, we were literally encountering lead paint. So that was like a huge, like a physical matter type of issue to deal with. And then we had a gas leak and all of this stuff. But it has to do with the place that we live. It has to do with like our physical things surrounding us in our day-to-day life. So that feels super relevant to me. You feel like that's been true? Such big challenges lately. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know you've been going through a move as well, so I'm sure we're on the same page about a lot of this. And what's interesting to me here is that these two, we've got the water rune and the moon, and they both landed on the same card. So we'll see what this card is, but I just want to say that like the moon and water are super connected, you know, like intuition and the dream world, you know, and that flow and cycles, they're all connected. So let's see what we've got as our message from water and the moon together. The Hermit. The Hermit. So if you haven't been, and this is something that came up earlier as well, if you haven't been, it's really important right now to carve out space for yourself to be in silence. Be in silence, or to sit with yourself, or to reflect. That's also a big thing. If you think of the moon as a mirror, reflection. Think of water, the reflection of water. Taking time to journal, for example, let those words flow out. or perhaps doing yoga, like some sort of flow. I'm thinking of all of the different ways it might relate to you in different ways, you know. But it's super important to take this time by ourselves, outside of the noise of everything else, you know, outside of the influences of all of the things that are pulling us in so many different directions. And I think right now, because we're facing such big challenges, and we've been facing challenges, you know, this is like solid, this is here, we know it's here, we're aware now. We're like, okay, we're going through a challenging time, we're aware, but that can take up so much space, and it can feel like there's no time for anything else, and it can feel like there's no time for yourself. I've certainly felt that way, and like I felt such a relief this morning, for example, starting up the morning ritual again. That was like a huge shift. And I think that this card is here to say that that space is super important, like really, really important. The gas leak. I know, right? Awful. It's awful. But it's all okay now. We're totally safe. It's just like, wow, we've moved into an old house and all of the issues just have immediately started coming up. All right, so our next element. Actually, I was kind of off. I was saying that this was water, but this is actually air. I apologize for that. But I think that this is similar, and we're gonna pull from water now and kind of see these things together. My mind has been so scrambled lately, so I saw the waves and I was just immediately thinking of water, but I think I was being influenced by that moon there. We've got Temperance. Okay, so it is the same thing, the same message intuitively that we're picking up with air and water. It's all about flow, you know? And like I said, taking that time for yourself. We've got the Hermit and we've got Temperance. So being alone, being still, flowing, you know, perhaps stretching, something like that, but spending time just you with yourself, that's what's needed. You need that healing space, period. So yeah, regardless, it's like water and air. This is about cleansing and clearing our mind. And this is about reflecting, like we were talking about, and being in the flow. So all of that is super important. And it just, like, it makes sense to me that these messages are super connected. And yeah, it's recognizing that while we're facing these challenges, Ludlol, is that how you say it? Welcome. Happy almost full moon. So happy to have you here. We're doing a collective reading right now, but we also have readings. This is for anyone here who wants to check it out by channel points or on the Ko-fi shop. So if you want one of these specific for yourself, it's on the Ko-fi shop. And otherwise, this is for everyone. This is collective. So let me know if you're resonating with it. All right. So we've got our elemental messages. But I do want to go back to the Hermit for a second, since we are connected to air there and we didn't quite touch on that as much. Come on, focus. And I just want to say that I think this does have to do with a lot of mental clearing, because the air is so connected to mind, right? So meditation, you know? Lars, hello. Good morning. Lars must have woken up from his nap. Lars and the baby were napping together. Hello. Thank you so much for resubscribing. You're amazing. We're doing our collective message right now, so yeah. I'm trying to think which rune I want to pull from next. I'm thinking since we pulled the moon already, let's go with the sun. And the sun landed on this card. Whoa, we've got death. So this means it's a big time of change. And, you know, since the sun is so external, it's like projecting outwards. I feel like this is a time where, yes, you know, the changes we've been going through within are starting to really present themselves outside. So as a collective, we're experiencing things that are like those internal shifts that might have seemed small are now just getting magnified and magnifying and getting more and more external. So again, it's like we've had these big challenges and we're also facing big changes, but it's not just changes within our own lives, it's like changes as a collective. I feel that really strongly. And we're all connected by this. It's like, okay, you're not going through it alone. And I feel like that message came through earlier as well. Is the baby typing? What? That's so cute. He says at symbol, period, and in quotation marks, he says slash question mark. So wise. The messages from the baby. So yeah, it's like I feel like these things, maybe earlier in the cycles, we've been feeling like we've been going through it alone, but more and more we're realizing that either we're realizing that we're all connected and all experiencing it, or it's just getting more magnified because externally big shifts and changes are happening as well. So not just in our personal lives, but also as a whole. It's such wise words. It's so true. So let's soften this message up a bit and let's go with our love rune and see what card that has landed on. We've got strength. Beautiful. So I feel here, and especially with love being, about connection, and we're just talking about we're all going through it together, is that we can find strength in realizing that we aren't doing this alone. We're facing all of these challenges, but we're doing so from a place of love and trust. And if we're not, then it's time to tap into that love and trust and know that you are connected to the great pattern and rhythm of everything. So in that connection, you can find your way through any challenge, and it can be easier said than done in the moment. But yeah, I feel like strength is here to tell us that, and to give us the resilience to know that, we are facing these giant boulders. We are experiencing great change as a collective and personally, but we certainly have the strength and resilience to get through it. Because the strength card is not about just standing up to like a threat or something immediately in the moment, but it's about having resiliency over time and sustaining your strength, sustaining your energy. And the way of sustaining your energy is like what we were talking about with the water and the air and the moon elements of going within, spending time with yourself alone, and connecting to flow in something that connects you to flow, or reflecting, you know what I mean? So those personal practices are super important to maintain that strength and that resiliency, for sure. Hey, gold hair, so good to see you. Okay, I'm going to take a sip here. I'm addicted to coconut water. It's true. So let me know if this is resonating with you all. Our next card is actually the element of fire. So let's see what our fire element has to say. The Chariot. Wow. Okay, this feels very connected to earlier today. We pulled the Eight of Wands, which is about fast-moving energy. And of course, starry skies. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for following. You all, are we almost at 500 not subscribers? I'm in YouTube lingo there. Followers. Are we at 500 followers yet? We're getting pretty close, right? Gold hairs and affirmation. Okay, I'm thinking about the message we've gotten so far with the collective and what a good affirmation could be with this. I'm thinking about resiliency. I'm resilient. I am strong. I have all of the energy I need. I'm resilient. I'm strong. I have all of the energy that I need. Welcome, starry skies. Yes, we're doing a reading right now for the collective, and you can also order one of these for yourself if you want off of Ko-fi, and I also offer readings for free with channel points. So that's all of the options there. Glamburger, hello, you're sewing and painting. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, there we go, shouting out Glamburger, one of my best friends. still 7 to go. Seven of your, with your work, Mai, is that right? All right. Oh, thanks for saying hi to Lars and the baby. So yeah, it's like, you know, I keep feeling like, okay, when is it going to slow down? When is it going to let up? And I feel like we've passed the peak of everything in terms of the whole summer. I do feel that way, but we're back at the full moon again, and the energy is super heightened. And I feel like with the Chariot, it's like, hey, it's not really letting up soon. We've got to keep going and going, you know, so we've got to maintain that energy and that resiliency to be able to keep going. And, yeah, like I said, it's connected with the Eight of Wands, I feel, which we pulled earlier as our card of the day, because this is the fire element meeting the Chariot, which is fast motion. So let's look at our final rune, which has kind of landed half and half on 2 different cards. So let's pull them both. And this is our mystery card, our unknown rune. So this is about the unknown, the unconscious. So let's see what we've got. We have the World. And the Tower. Oh man, this is intense. Why does it have to be so intense? So I feel like this is again talking about the major shifts and changes with the Death card, with the Tower. It's about things having to crumble before they can be rebuilt. So that's what's happening now in a lot of different layers of things, right? But with the World card, it also feels to me like it's part of the grand design. And yes, maybe we are facing a lot of endings right now. A lot of endings, but it's for a reason. It's like the things that have to crumble are crumbling, and it's important, and it's for the good of all. It's for the good of society. So maybe we're in a time of cleansing and releasing, and you can pull from that energy because, you know, we're going into this full moon, so you can certainly pull from the cleansing and releasing energy and use that in yourself and say, okay, what do I need to cleanse and release myself of? We're in this time of great change and upheaval, so what can I let go? What can I let crumble? You know, because the sooner we do that, the sooner we can truly heal and learn what we need to learn and bring that into a new reality and a new beginning. Oh, 7 followers. My, thank you so much. I forgot the question that I even asked. And I was like, oh, you've got 7 left. It must be related to your work. Okay, we've got 7 left. I feel like it's going to happen soon. That's so amazing. Thank you. All right, so yeah, that is our collective message with the major arcana for the major energy.